Hey, today I'm going to share with you 3 high-ticket niches that are blowing up in 2025 and will keep scaling all the way through 2026. These aren't random picks. I've personally tested them inside my 151K a month sales team agency. They've got real pain, clear signal, and very high budgets. So it would be smart for you guys to also tap into them so you can also make a ton of money. So let's get into it. So, in order for you guys to understand whether a niche is good or not, and to basically denote the health of a niche, well, it has to have these 3 things. The first thing is basically signal. How do I know they need help right now? So, this is basically the proof that the niche is active and companies within that niche are actually buying and doing stuff. So, they are actively trying to grow. And then we have pain. What's hurting them that I can fix? Pain means there's something slowing them down, costing them money, blocking growth, and they know it. Okay? And then the third thing is basically high ticket. How much they can realistically pay me. Now, this is really important because you need to know the value of the outcome you're helping with because that justifies your price. Let me say that again. You need to know the value of the outcome you're helping with because that justifies your price. Okay? So, for example, if you help them land a $1 million deal, well, 10K a month is nothing, right? If they earn 100K per higher place, well, 5K is easy. If you solve a 300K a year problem, well, high retainers absolutely make sense. So if a niche hits the signal plus pain plus high ticket, well, it's a winner. Now, I'm gonna walk you guys through 3 niches that are absolutely blowing right now, and they will keep blowing up in 2026. Now, these 3 niches are personally tested because, as you guys know, as a plus 150K a month agency, I have to stay on the top of the game so I can actually deliver for my clients and also keep growing consistently. So I'm constantly doing research and I'm constantly looking for these hidden niches, whether it's industry insights, recent fundings, industry alerts, newsletters that I'm subscribed to. So it's very important for me to stay updated, and it's also good because I can transcend that information after I do all the research, etc. Transcend that information to you guys so you can also get or have the other part of the pie and actually make a ton of money. Now, the first niche that I'm gonna walk you guys through is climate tech companies. Now, I've done my best to explain this in very, very simple terms because most people that talk about this sort of stuff in the AI space or the AI automation space, they try to explain it in like a nerdy theoretical way, kind of like an academic way, but in reality, we don't really care. We only want to know if the niche is good or not, and are they gonna pay us a ton of money, okay? So climate tech companies, they are basically companies that are trying to save the planet. They build cool stuff like machines that suck carbon from the air or tech that makes energy without hurting the earth. So we're going to use the same 3 criteria, which is signal, pain, and ticket size. Now, the signal that we have here is governments and funds just threw plus 100 billion into climate from 2024 all the way to 2025. And they will keep pouring until 2030. So they've got a bunch of money to grow, right? Now, the pain that we have here is that usually the founders of these companies are PhDs. They're not a sales and agency owner like you, okay, or like us. So they have no clue how to automate lead gen. They have no clue how to basically get clients using AI and automation. They have no clue how to build sales systems, how to use AI to reach out to thousands of customers in like a few minutes, right? So they don't know how to talk to potential clients that would buy their tech, right? So it's a perfect opportunity to basically go for this niche and build them a sales system slash AI lead gen system that can introduce them to the right people because this is what they care about. And those right people are basically just big companies who want to use their tech, okay? Now, in terms of the ticket size, if you guys don't know, their deals are very huge, like plus $5 million, okay? So paying you 8 to 10K a month is no big deal if you help them make those sales because like I always say, companies care about customers, okay? If you can automate lead gen for them, you're set for life, okay? So essentially you can act as the bridge between the smart tech guys and the people with the money. Basically, the sales department they don't have because they mostly rely on referrals, word of mouth, and basically spending so much money on ads, okay? Now, The obvious question you might have or might pop in your head is how to find them, Saad. Well, if you want to find them, you can basically just use any lead sourcing database like LinkedIn Sales Nav or like Apollo, Exa.ai, Clutch, multiple platforms that I've shared multiple times in this channel. So you want to look for industries such as renewable and environment, environmental services, utilities, and also biotechnology. Now, the titles, because who am I going to talk to, obviously? So you want to talk to founders, co-founders, CEOs, CTOs, COO, head of partnerships, business development, VP of sales, and head of strategy. So these are all the decision makers that you want to talk to based on my personal research and personal tests. The company size, what I found the best, is 11 to 500 employees because obviously from 11 to 500, well, they are lean teams, so they are likely to need help. Location, always go for the US, Canada, UK, Europe, because these are the top climate markets. So this is the first niche, climate tech companies. Now let's talk about the second niche, which is longevity and health span niche. Now, just to give you guys some context, obviously, population is aging. So big players or big companies are now entering. So companies in that niche are trying to extend human life, slow aging, and boost health span, aka not just living longer, but better. And you guys know there's a lot of news about this thing like longevity. You see all these podcasts about people trying to live better, optimize their health markers, optimize their lifestyle, etc., which is pretty cool, right? So what they do, okay, the TLDR is they build stuff like anti-aging drugs, biomarker tracking tech, longevity diagnostics, and basically next-gen wellness platforms for us, okay? Now, the signal that we have here is that investors dropped 5.2 billion into longevity startups in just 2025, okay, like 6 months ago. So they've raised a ton of money and now they need to grow, obviously, because when they raise money, well, they are looking to grow and scale. Okay. Now, the pain that we have here is that founders, again, are usually scientists, doctors, basically like bio nerds, you guys. So, not operators or like salespeople or like AI automation specialists or like sales agency owners. They have no clue how to build predictable client acquisition systems. And by the way, this is for 99% of the industries. And let me give you guys a story. One of my biggest deals that I've actually closed was in a Microsoft affiliate. And I remember I jumped on a call with their VP of sales and I essentially just explained how I build these sales systems. And they all were like puzzled because it's very, very new to them. Okay, they don't understand this because their entire client acquisition system is basically just referrals, spending so much money in ads, and usually just connection, like red tape, insider connection within that industry. Okay, so they don't understand this. So it's a perfect opportunity. And you can usually just impress them easily. Okay, so these companies, again, they can't get intros with hospitals, insurers, and wellness execs because this is their ideal client. If you want to steal this, this is their ideal client, and also high net worth individuals on their own. So it's a perfect chance to build them an AI sales system that can automate their entire lead gen, and they can pay you like 10 to 15K because these big companies. The ticket size, again, which is interesting, their clients are high value, okay? High trust, high value, meaning deals are slow, but worth plus 500K to plus 5 million over time. So paying you 8 to 15K a month to handle that process is nothing if it gets them strategic intros or closes, right? Now, you are the sales engine that they don't have, the bridge between the genius founders again and enterprise buyers who don't understand their tech but have deep pockets. These are the folks that have deep pockets, right? Now, how to find them again? So I want you guys to go to industry, healthcare, medical devices, pharmaceutical, and then also the title, usually founder, co-founder, same thing, CEO, CTO, COO, and then chief medical officer, head of strategy, head of science, head of partnerships, head of strategy, VP of growth / biz development, like business development. The company size, again, 11 to 500, same thing, lean teams growing fast and they need outside help, aka you. Location, always go for US, mostly US, Canada, UK, Switzerland, Germany, and also Singapore. Singapore, if you guys don't know, like it's low-key one of like the richest countries. And also, they're people. I love them to death. Actually, a bunch of people in my team are actually are people from Singapore. Shout out to you guys that are watching this. But Singapore, Germany, Switzerland, UK, Canada, and US, because this means top longevity plus health innovation markets. These are all like health innovation markets. Now, let's talk about the third niche, which is basically IT recruitment or the technical recruitment niche. Basically, recruitment agencies that place candidates within AI startups or bio startups or like deep tech startups, okay? Companies with deep pockets again. Now, we all know what a recruitment agency is. It's basically an agency that has candidates and they basically place those candidates in companies that are hiring. Okay, they have candidates in-house and they place them. Okay, they recruit. So like I said, these agencies already have pre-vetted engineers, backend, front-end, DevOps, AI, etc. They are ready to place within this deep tech slash AI bio startups, obviously. So their ideal client, obviously, is a company hiring for those roles, since they make 20 to 30% of the candidate's initial salary. If you guys don't know, they make 20 to 30% of a candidate. Let's say it's like a software engineer and they make 100K a year. Well, they collect like 20 to 30%. So their business model is basically they just connect a company with great candidates. So if the company hires that candidate that is in that recruitment agency, well, they get 20-30% of the candidate's first year salary. So if the hire makes 120K a year, well, they bank 24 to 36K, which is insane, right? Now, the pain that we have, let's make this purple, just so we make this aesthetically pleasing. So the pain that they have is that they have strong candidates on deck, but they struggle to find companies actively hiring. They usually run ads, they rely on LinkedIn slog, they don't actually know how to like find companies before other recruiters or other recruitment agencies just steal them. So, and also they rely on cold calling way too much. And I think cold calling in 2025 is stupid. So they also rely on referrals, which means obviously they don't have a consistent pipeline. So you can also build them sales systems that can automate their lead gen. And recruitment is one of the easiest niches you can go for. Like I know at this point, like plus 400 people that landed their first client going for the recruitment niche, especially IT, because they always have candidates and companies. There's like a new startup every single 10 minutes in the world. And these startups are always looking to hire, okay? Also, recruitment agencies, they hate chasing clients and they love placing talent, okay? This is in my experience. Now, their ICP, ideal customer profile, is a company hiring, obviously. So we want to niche down a little bit. We want IT, just like I talked about. So it's deep tech, AI / bio startups. So these are super advanced tech startups that are raising so much money, billions of dollars, because they're doing big brain stuff. So they're building tech that's even smarter than ChatGPT, and it can even cure diseases with AI, build robots that move on their own, okay? And they also develop quantum computers. It's kind of like the sci-fi level stuff, okay? And they also build in tech that mixes biology and code to extend life, which is interesting. So track cells, etc. So think AI startups, biotech labs, robotic companies, etc. All this good stuff. Now, the signal that we have is that each startup raises like minimum 10 million all the way to $50 million. And they need to hire the best engineers in the world to build this stuff, obviously, because we need an engineer that can actually ship the product. So who is going to build this stuff? The engineer. How do we find the engineer? Well, we're going to have to connect them with the recruitment agency because we know that hiring is a pain in the ass. And this is something that's coming again from experience. It was a pain in the ass to hire people. Now, the pain that these startups have, okay, not the recruitment agencies, the startups, is that founders are usually ex-researchers again, PhDs, or even engineers. So very technical people, very smart people, but they don't necessarily know how to handle distribution. Distribution is basically getting clients, okay? And just to give you guys a gold mine, in order for you to scale any startup or grow a startup or any company whatsoever, you need to focus on two things, which is basically, it's called the levers of growth, which is distribution and product adoption. So product adoption doesn't necessarily mean customers are paying you, but people using your product or your platform or your SaaS or your solution, whatever, whether it's a free trial, but the main point is that they signed up to your product, okay? Because it creates network effects. What's network effect is basically people talking about your products with other people, so they get them signed up, and then we have this network effect, okay? This is exactly how WhatsApp, Instagram, well, Facebook managed to scale. They create this network effect, all right? So going back, well, you need product adoption, which is people using your product, solution, or SaaS or platform. And then you need distribution, which is actually how many people are being converted to actual customers. So these founders, like I said, they have no clue how to build a real hiring pipeline. So they need these recruitment agencies. And these recruitment agencies will provide them with engineers, bioinformaticians, robotic devs so they can actually ship the products. And usually hiring takes them 3 to 6 months and they lose top candidates, so they need these recruitment agencies. Let's go here and then let me walk you through how to find these agencies, the recruitment agencies. So the industry always going to be staffing and recruitment, information technology and services. Keywords, always use these keywords. IT staffing, tech recruitment, software engineers, developer recruitment, and executive search tech. The title is always going to be founder, CEO, head of talent, VP of BD, which is basically VP of business development. In terms of the company size, what I found the best is boutique shops, which is basically 1 to 50 employees because they're fast moving and they need help right now. In terms of the location, always go for the US, Canada, Europe. Do not go to other countries because they simply don't have the money. So global talent markets such as the US, UK, Canada, and Europe. So there we go, guys. Now you know the 3 industries I would highly recommend you go for in 2025 and also going into 2026. As you can see, these are giant industries, giant niches with tons of potential, tons of money. Well, it's billions of dollars. And I guess one of the main takeaways that we can take from that is that you really need to start thinking big. Because when you start thinking big, everything else becomes normal to you, which helps with the limiting belief of I can't make 10K a month, I can't make 20K a month, I can't make 100K a month. See, now that you are watching this, you can absolutely make 50, 100K, 200K a month because most people that are making this much money are not better than you. They're not geniuses. They haven't done sacrifices, okay? So you guys need to start thinking big because once you start thinking big, opportunities just come to you flawlessly. So just get out there, take action, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.